Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because the fines are in the mail, guys. Cannot escape this. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, please. And today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. You know, we have talked about so many different things when it comes to municipalities that have no money. And what can we do to garner, more revenue in our city and our state? And here in California, you're starting to see some wild things. Now, I have friends and subscribers from around the country that sent me, videos of their fireworks displays and just crazy, crazy stuff that are not remotely legal here in California. And it was great to see. But in the Sacramento County area, this is absolutely wild. They sent out drones, and the drones flew over different cities and captured video of people shooting off illegal fireworks in different areas where they are illegal. You can say, okay, big deal. Nothing got burnt down, which a lot of stuff did get burnt down, but nothing got burnt down in this city. But what they did was they're going to start sending out fines in the mail this week. If this is your first offense, it will be $1,000 that they will send you as a fine. Now, that is unbelievable. And talking to a lawyer, she was like, wait. How do they do that? Well, what this is called is the social host ordinance. And what a social host ordinance does is it makes it so that whoever owns the property is 100% responsible. So if you rent your home and you guys had the ultimate gala spectacle of 4th of July fireworks, your landlord is going to get a fine. Now, if this house was ever fined before, any individual that lives at that house that they assume is still living in that residence, think about this. The fine goes from $1,000 to $20,000. Hello. That is unbelievable. Absolutely crazy. So think about this. This is going to start being used in Sacramento County and other areas for loud parties. Okay? Guys are crazy. We told you. Cops show up here again, it's going to be a $400 fine. Okay, well, we'll keep the music down. Sorry, it's only 9:30 at night. No, it's too loud. Neighbors are complaining. They're calling us about this stuff. So with that, you're starting to see a social, host ordinance law. Isn't that wild, guys? Unbelievable. So think about this. They had spotter vehicles drive up and down different cities in San Jose and Sacramento and all these other cities. And they said, listen, if they just recorded the address, little video in the car, didn't announce that they were the police, didn't write the people for a citation, didn't tell them to put the fireworks out. They're just going to fine them and they're going to receive a fine in the mail. That is wild, guys. That's it's just blows me away. But this is more of Big Brother coming after all of us. Now, every now and then, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, this is the end of it. What else could they do? This one totally blew me away. So I'm telling you, if you or anybody gets a fine in the mail, I gotta see this. And my attorney friends, it's funny. I got invited to a 4th of July party. It was really nice. Everybody barbecuing, having a good time, swimming in the pool, and then fireworks. This woman lived in a hill in a place called Anaheim Hills. So it's Anaheim, but it's up in the hill. And she walks out to a ridge and you can see all the fireworks. And the most amazing thing is all the illegal fireworks that people have. And it is just, you got the different, areas, and she had the map out. Okay, that's the school here. That's the city of Anaheim. That's Disneyland, and had it all mapped out. That's Yorba Linda over there across the freeway. And then you had all the illegal stuff that everybody lit off. That was it was just wild, guys. It was just nonstop for about an hour and a half, massive explosions, massive good times. So what they would do, think about this, is they'd send the drones over and, oh, that's Stan's house. Let's write him up for this. Now, think about this, guys. There is it's the homeowner themselves. So you're going to see a lot of people getting a lot of trouble, from your landlord that's going to sit there and say, hey, I've told you guys this. Look at the clause in your lease. You're going to see leases get changed to where if you have any social, social host ordinance things that happen with this house, this residence, you're going to be responsible for it, because it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to enforce this. But imagine getting a bill for $1,000 in the mail, and then if it's your second offense and you've done anything wrong, 20 grand. So let me know what you think about this, because that's wild. That is just, it's unbelievable. Next thing is, we've talked a lot about AI lately. Think about this. This is a wild stat. And there's a great story below about how many people have lost their jobs this year to AI. They anticipate right now in the United States, in the tech sector alone, 507 people lose their job a day. 507. So far this year, in the tech sector alone, this is not sales, this is nothing, just the tech sector, 94,000 people have lost their jobs this year. That's crazy, guys. It's a big number. My friend was telling his daughter in front of me the other day that there used to be a thing where you'd call a business and there would be a receptionist, and she would answer the phone and say, "Who would you like to speak to? How can I route your call?" Instead of you calling a computer that you have to push numbers for, there used to be human beings that used to do that. And we all remember, everybody of our age remembers that. But this is the shape of things to come, guys. You're not going to see this go back in any way, shape, or form. It is terrible because there's good and bad with AI. The AI of having a drone fly over an area and having it spot properties. It's already mapped out your neighborhood. They know that you're the third lot from the end of the street, and that's Dan's house. So with that, wow, look what Dan's doing right now. That's illegal. You guys, I'm telling you this right now. Do you have an illegal addition on your house? Did you do work? Did you not get building permits? You're finished right now. You are done more than ever, because these cities are making people fix this stuff. I knew a guy whose parents died, and he had nothing but problems because people lived in the house 55 years. And in 55 years, Dad built everything. Imagine the shack that was there 55 years earlier, and this guy did all these improvements, and they were making him get permits for everything, and it created an absolute nightmare to where he had to hire an attorney to get himself out of this for the existing non-conforming of certain property things. So it's crazy. They will be lenient on having an ADU, an accessory dwelling unit on your property, but you build an extra patio cover. Oh, okay, scofflaw, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? It's nuts. Let me know what you think so far, and but if anybody gets those fines, if you hear of anybody getting those fines, let us all know. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. Guys, we have seen so many things happen in the economy since the first of the year. More tariffs just got announced. The US dollar is at a 2-year low. We could see deficits climb to as high as $50 trillion. You need to contact #1 rated Patriot Gold Group today to get yourself into the safe haven investments of precious metals. They are #1 rated for very good reason. They have over 10,000 clients that have done business with them. They have done over $1 billion in transactions because their customer service is second to none. Contact them today, guys. 888-330-1431. Do it now before it's too late, guys. All the tailwinds with gold and silver are not going to change, guys. Our economy is very precarious right now, but you need to protect yourself. You have IRAs that have no fee for life on qualifying rollovers, 401ks backed by precious metals. But guys, contact #1 rated Patriot Gold Group today. You don't get to be #1 without having great customer service. Call them now before it's too late. 888-330-1431. Let them know that Dan from iAllegedly sent you. One thing that I love to see is the cable ratings and how they have just plummeted since the election. How about this one? MSNBC and CNN, their ratings have hit the floor. MSNBC, for their prime time lineup, guys, peak hours, everybody watching, they have less than 100,000 people watching that network. They are paying those hosts millions of dollars, but not for long. They are on what they call cancellation watch, where these people are going to be done and be looking for new employment. I have days, guys, that I get more than 91,000 views on my channel, and that's crazy, guys. So, bravo, pay me $8 million a year. Anyways, next thing is you're starting to see more and more places that are limiting where people can live in their RVs. Think about this one. I always get, nice letters. Diane wrote me from Texas and says, "Oh my gosh, Dan, my husband and I are a huge fan. You should come live in our neighborhood. Totally reasonable, $265,000, and you could live right behind me. They just redid the house. It's beautiful." Think about that, 265 grand to have a house. And she sent me the layout of the house. It's beautiful. It's really nice. I don't want to say her address because you'd know where Diane lives. So I didn't want to, breach that. But there are houses out there under the $289,000 mark. And I looked at the city as a nice city and everything like that. But here's one thing that's happening more and more often is that you are not allowed to camp on your own property. And there are certain cities in Michigan, Delaware, Indiana, and Hawaii cannot park an RV on your property and spend the night there. Now, California has laws here where you can only do it so many days a month, which makes it so if you're having construction, you got to figure out where you're going to park during that time. So this is more and more of a problem. But as people go through, having difficult times right now, the idea of living in the RV, and guys, I'm blown away. I've met people and been out in public and walked into RVs that were $700,000. I mean, they're luxurious and they are tanks. They are just huge, huge beasts that these people have to drive around. And you can't take it to every RV park too. That's the thing they told me, is that some of these are so big that not every RV park will accept them. Here's the other thing that's kind of cool is my late girlfriend bought a cargo van that was converted. She bought it on Shark Tank of all places. And that cargo van, you can park pretty much anywhere. But during COVID, take it to hotels, drive it to hotels, take the dog, and it gave us a place to eat away from everybody. But wineries are very cool. There's a lot of wineries across the country where you can camp there, basically sleep overnight at a winery, and it's incredibly expensive, under $30. You're never going to get a hotel room like that. So speaking of this, is that, we've heard all this problems with Vegas lately. There is a place called Buffalo Bill's that just reopened, and Buffalo Bill's is on State Line. It's on the Nevada side, obviously. Whiskey Pete's across the street went out of business in January, and I covered that. Buffalo Bill's is now limiting. They're not going 24/7 anymore. They're limiting their hours there, and that is crazy. So getting to see a lot more of this stuff, guys. So let me know what you think so far. And, people are having a difficult time, and I remember a story I did out of Australia that was the working poor and how these people would basically go camping, and then go shower and then go to work, but they couldn't afford a residence because rents got so expensive, weekly rent. It is wild to me that Australians, they pay for their rent on a weekly basis, basically, which reminds me of a hotel. But let me know what you think about this stuff so far. We've talked a lot about AI and people getting laid off. Microsoft, the number is out right now. It's 9,000 more people are going to lose their jobs there. Originally, it was said to be 4,000, then 7,000. Now it's 9,000. That is wild, guys. That is unbelievable. Jim Farley, CEO of Ford, says that half of the people that work there will lose their job to AI. Crazy, guys. I mean, what are you safe at? You got to start your own gig. You got to get out of debt. I tell my kids this all the time. Don't carry debt. Don't be saddled with debt. They have friends that have student loan debt of $200,000 and they're not making any money. I'm like, how are they servicing that debt? And they've asked me, like, how can we renegotiate this? Well, there's only so much you can do. It's one thing if you've got cancer, which is what helped Lisa at one point. And, you've got to be able to tell people why you can't pay for those loans. It's pretty wild when you think about that. So, the other thing is we're seeing a lot of trouble with tenants, with landlords that are not paying for the necessities. They're not paying the electric bill. They're not paying for insurance. People are filing claims for accidents they don't have coverage, which I don't know how you can be a landlord in this world. I don't know how you can go out and have a property, have people pay you rent, and neglect the place. So that's what we saw during 2021, 2022, when people weren't paying their rent. It was very difficult for landlords because they had to continue to maintain the properties when people didn't have to pay their rent. So you're seeing more and more of that too. Loan fraud. People have asked me a lot about loan fraud lately when it comes to automobiles. You know, there was a term that really bothered me, and people go out and they buy a car, and there's an FTC rule that they cannot change your financing. Once you leave that dealership, they can't come back and say, hey, listen, you got to bring the car back and assign new loan docs. That is illegal in all 50 states. If the dealership does this to you, hey, listen, you didn't qualify for the loan we thought you were going to qualify for. You bought the thing on a Friday night. That's on you guys. That's on them. Don't let them do this to you. It's illegal in every single state. You're trading, now that we really got it, to look at it under the light, it's not worth the $5,000 we gave to you. No, don't allow them to do this. Don't buy this. Don't agree to this. Say no to this stuff. Know your rights on this stuff. And again, if you know of an attorney in your life, ask them these questions about things. But again, when you are going to buy a car, research the dealership, guys. Research if they have all these complaints against them. Research their nonsense. I helped my son buy a car last year, across the country. And when I, called the dealerships, hey, explain to me every fee you have. Oh, we have a documentation fee of $750. I'm not paying that. You pay that. Back and forth, back and forth. Maybe it's okay in California to talk to people this way. You mean negotiating something? You want to charge $750 to write the contract to buy the vehicle? You guys are smoking crack. So I think I said angel dust at the time. So anyway, you get the gist. Okay, they run something, everything but a train. So no. Don't accept that, guys. Don't say yes to that stuff. When you go to rent a place, go there at night, guys. Go there and see what it looks like on the weekends. The smell like reefer, on a Tuesday, don't rent there, okay? These are your neighbors that you have to live with, okay? They have a bunch of unruly children. Pass, by, okay? Don't do it. Just say no, okay? Nancy Reagan was right. I'm going to end this video with these last few things. Guys, don't forget that we have the private channel, iAllegedly Live. You sign up at iAllegedly.tv or use the link below. It's everything uncensored, everything we can't talk about other places. It's absolutely fantastic. Couple things is that whenever I do like stories about like public servants, people that work for the post office, firefighters, cops, I always get, an influx of emails and things like that. And lately, I'm getting a lot of emails about bad mail service. And North Carolina, guys, another 110,000 pieces of mail didn't get delivered. This is in addition to the place in Georgia that we talked about last week. So I'm telling you guys, you didn't get a birthday card from grandma this year. It's sitting inside the mail house right now. 110,000 pieces of mails. Of that, they broke it down too. There was like over 10,000 parcels that were sitting there that didn't get delivered. Our postal service is broken. Absolutely upside down and broken. Final thing, and that this was told to me by a pothound. And one thing that they do is with postal workers is they worry about getting, when they do large email boxes that have multiple places for mail collection, they are always worried about snakes, spiders, and wasps, especially this time of the year. If you put a dryer sheet in your mail slot, the wasp won't go there, which I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. Now I've heard about this. You put it in your trunk and all the smells go away in your car. So anyways, you get the gist. So it's kind of a nice little thing to be told, and it works. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. A lot more to cover. Really busy week coming up. So much in the news right now. It's nonstop. But I'm telling you guys, if you get one of these ordinance tickets, because you're the responsible owner, share it with us, guys. Let us know what you dealt with so we can share it with the entire audience, okay? I'll see you soon.